Hello everyone. In this video, we will see control structure in C programming. Okay, so see my screen. Control structures in C programming are the constructs that allow the flow of execution in a program to be controlled and directed. They can be categorized into three main types: sequential, decision making, and looping, right? So we will see one by one. So sequential control structure. You see the default control structure where statements are executed one after the other in the order they appear. Okay, so default control structure is uh, every statement will be executed after one after another. Okay, so you see here we have a main function and three three printf statement, right? Printf function. So every every line will be printed after the execution of the previous one, right? So first of all this line will be executed and then this line and then this line. Okay, so we don't need to see this is just simple thing. And now we have decision making control structure, right? What is decision making? If we want to do some specific thing, okay, so if you want to stop the flow of the program and we want to we want to make a decision, okay, so then we can use this, right? If you see here, integer main, so in this main function there is a number variable which holds 10, right? So now we're saying if number is greater than 5. Okay, so if number is greater than 5, then we will print the number is greater than 5, right? So here we're just interfering the program to make our decision, right? So I hope you understand what will if we see the code what we will get, right? So it will print the number is greater than 5. If else statement, okay, so you see how we write after if a first bracket, and in the first bracket we just give our condition and two curly braces, right? So if else statement, you see here if and then first bracket condition and then curly braces, right? And after this curly braces, okay, so we are writing else, and after that uh, two curly braces again. Okay, so you see here number variable is holding 3, and if number modulus 2 equals 0, that means if we divide the number by 2 and if gives us no reminder. Okay, so I hope you understand what reminder is, guys. Reminder is like if you divide 5 by 2, so 2 multiplied by 2 is 4 and 1 is rest. Okay, so this is reminder. So if there is nothing left, this will be 0, right? If you divide 4 by 2, then there is no reminder. Okay, so that means if it happens, then the number is even, right? Else the number is odd. So if you see the program, we will see the number is odd because 3 is an odd number and 3 uh, is not evenly divided by 2, right? So I hope you understand what it actually means. Okay, so if else if ladder, okay, so if there is more than one condition, okay, so in this case we need to think about this. Okay, if else ladder. So if condition 1 and then else if, so, I mean we may write more than one else if we have this kind of condition. Okay, so you see here integer number equals 0. If number greater than 0, the number is positive. Okay, else if number is less than 0, the number is negative. Okay, otherwise the number is 0. So you see here, so if any case we need more than one else if, we can do that too, right? Now switch case statement. So what is switch case statement, guys? You can see how these are expressed, right? Switch and then expression, case value 1 and code for value 1, and then a break statement, right? Case value 2, code for value 2, and then break statement, and more cases, and at the end we'll have to provide a default case, right? So I hope uh, with practice we can, we can master these things, guys. But for now we just need to see how they work and how they behave, right? Right. So here you see integer main, and we have day equals 3, right? So day has a value of 3, and now we are giving the switch statement. So day is the variable here, okay? So case 1, we're saying printf Monday. If day is 3, then we're saying it's Monday, then a break, okay? Case 2, if it's 2, then we're saying Tuesday and then a break. Case 3, we're saying Wednesday and the break, right? Default invalid day, okay? So if you provide any other, if we can, just copy this line and we see in an online compiler, we will see this in an online compiler. If you see here Wednesday, okay, so if you provide like 5, it will be an invalid day, right? You see, invalid day. So this is how it works, guys. Okay, so looping. What is looping actually? These allow the repetition of a block of code until a condition is met, right? If you see while loop here, and we will see why we need it. While loop is written like this. Here after while, it's like if condition, guys. After while we have to provide a condition and then 2 curly braces, right? If you see the program, you see here int I starts from 1, okay? So while I less than or equals 5, we'll print I one by one, okay? And then I will be incremented by 1, okay? I plus 1, okay? So if you want, I can help you visualize this one, okay? So you see initially I is 1, and while, if you just while loop, if you just do like this, first iteration, okay? So we will see the condition. So in the beginning I will be, I is 1, right? So 1 is less than or equal to 5, right? If you see 1 is less than or equal to 5, so our condition is true, right? So now we will print you know I, print I. So I is 1, right? Print 1. So now I will be, I will be incremented. So I will be, I plus 1, right? I plus 1 equals to 2. 1 plus 1 equals to 2, right? So for 2 it will, iterate again. So it will be our second iteration. So 2 is less than 5, right? So print 2. So now, I was 2 plus 1 again. So it will be 3 here. So for the third iteration, this is how it will work, guys. Uh, for the third iteration, it will iterate again. For the third iteration, I will be 3. 3 is less than 5. So this is how it will iterate 5 times, and it will print 1 to 5, right? So this is how it works, guys. Whenever the condition is, whenever, I become 6, and when it comes here, I less than or equal to 5, the condition becomes, false, right? Because I is 6. So that time it will, terminate from the loop. It will not enter into the loop again, right? So we will get 1 to 5. We will get 1 to 5. So this is how it works, guys. And do while loop, okay? So if you see here, we'll just see the example. Initially I is 1, and do, print, I will be printed, 1 will be printed, and then I will be plus plus. So I will be incremented now. Okay. Okay. So it seems to you, it may seem to you that it's almost the same thing, but there's a difference. Okay. So for the, in do while loop is considered after the do. Okay, so it will iterate once at least. It will iterate once at least for do, and then condition will be checked for while. Okay, so I will try to explain a little bit more. I will tell ChatGPT to give me some more information about it, but before that I will have to I will just finish. Okay, so now we have a for loop. For loop is almost same thing. Okay, so so just see the for loop, and then we will discuss about the difference between do while and for loop. Okay, so you see here I starts from 1 and I is less than or equal to 5 I plus plus. Okay, so when I is less than 5, then it will enter into the loop, right? So I is 1 is less than 5, so it will enter into the loop and print 1, right? And then it will increase again, and then it will continue 5 times, right? We see jump statements here. These are used to alter the flow of control by jumping to a specific part of the program. Okay, so break statement uh, exists from a loop or switch statement. So you see here, uh, for loop, we have a for loop here. Okay, so it will start from 1, and when I is less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. If I equals 3, then break. Okay, that means when I will be 3, the loop will break. Okay, so, and then printf I. Okay, so let's see how it behaves. Okay, you see when I becomes 3, it breaks. It doesn't print anymore. Okay, so we just giving this if condition before the print statement. So, okay, because in the previous two iterations for 1 and 2, okay, it just it just didn't meet this condition. Okay, because 1 and 2 is not 3, and then it just jumped, the program jumped from this and printed this line. But when I was 3, it didn't jump. Okay, so it entered into the loop, entered into the condition and break the program, right? Okay, continuous statement skips the current iteration of a loop and moves to the next iteration. So let's see how it behaves. Okay, you see here when I is 3, it continued. That means it didn't print 3, but it didn't stop the program. Okay, it just didn't print the 3. So unlike the previous break statement. Okay, I hope you get the point. Okay guys, in the next video we will try to learn what's the difference between do while loop and for loop. Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit longer. This is why I decided to make that part in another video. Thank you for watching.